Alrighty, everyone. Bishetta Bino. This is a recording. Okay, so Bisha Mani Nawokano, right? Happy Friday. It is Friday. Hope everybody's week went well. That's all we wish for. Numu Apikya. Welcome. We already know it's Numu Apikya, Numu Yadooana, Paiute language. We're going to start off our class the way we normally do. It is still a recording. However, I still want you to get into that same practice. Yeshira mikono ananishitahai. Excuse me. Go ahead, stand. Alrighty. Summit you, wahai you, bahate you, watsakwet you, maniki. Mina pisha nimiya sama juamu. No oko himami matebwekiti. Pisha nimi omamanuma. No oko tenimidui nimi nanishitahaikiti. Pisha nimi nanasitahaina nanasu hanina. Nimi kayano na bihwa bihwa. Bishama yeshirami ata. Let's all take a seat. I don't want to be too blown out here. Let's go. Maybe even worse. Sorry. It's okay. Yahoo muha haya inania. Don't worry, I'll say it for you. Say it in your head. Pui muha. Right? Things are starting to get really green. Pui muha. Pui muha. Alrighty. Yeshi Yahoo muha hayu inania. I always kind of look at my watch. Okay, 2 sets of hands. Waha mano. Bahe. Waha mano bahe. Sorry. Hayuna wokano nania. Manigi in na wokano. The 5th working day. How neat you hunakote. Pasiapawe tabira wapuni. Tabira wapuni. Sunshine all day. How neat you hunakote nim. Yui puni. Yui puni. It's yui all day. I think it's about the height of the day right now, so that means the peak it gets pretty edit, so it might be a little edit. Okay. I'm wrestling with this mic mouse today. Forgive me. How na bishanim. Hanut kimara. Na kovawe to kimara. Haya unania. Nemisperns minania. Hatna tomopo. Tomopo, sorry. Ne ewatomo. I will not share with you my H. Okay, next is Hanut no bigayu. Ne pasiapo no bigayu. Haya upia nanyan. Ipia nanyan Brenda Burns. Haya na nanyan. Ina nanyan Dwayne Rambotam. Okay, we did go over some animals last class, right? It's really important. We go over certain animals and we went over the ones we knew, and then we introduced some that we need a little bit more review on, didn't we? Alrighty. Issue Togokwa. Togokwa. Seuru Togokwa Uwiwin. Seuru öde you lang togokwa uwiwin. That's my attempt at American Sign Language. I just know uwiwin. So öde you togokwa uwiwin. Okay, what's that? Give you a couple seconds. It does mean the long snake sleeping. Probably already knew that. Duhutcha. So itzi duhutcha tano manihu. So itzi duhutcha tano manihu. Say it in your head if you like. The brown deer ran. Past tense, who. Right? We already know this one's already here. Badakai. So do ishi no badakai ikatikwa. So do ishi no badakai ikatikwa. The black and gray raccoon will sit. Katikwa. Kwa, right? That means he will. Here, I explained a little bit more the N-O. So right up here, N-O, it means end or with. So you see how it's used here, and it was used in the previous sentence. So du toha no bongita kai bishakwanawan. Woo, he's really smelling bad. So du toha no. Black and white. Bongita kai bishakwanawan. That means he's really smelling bad. Kwanawan. He's smelling bad right now. Right? Present tense. ING. So du dohano bongita kai bishakwanawan. Isha. So ishi isha teka kate. I don't know if he really sits, but he lays, but whatever. So ishi isha teka kate. Teka kate. The gray wolf eat while sitting down. Tekakate. Itza. Ishawanga. This is wolf's little brother. He's naughty. So baba you itza dida haiku. So baba you itza dida haiku. Dida hai. That mean kind of get those language muscles kind of going, the brain cells pumping. Subaba you itza dida haiku. The big coyote still in the future. So will still. Proper English, the big coyote will steal. He will steal your little dogs. He will steal your chickens, but he won't give them back because he'll eat them. He will steal. Alrighty. This one I need you to make a sentence out of. I'm going to give you a couple minutes per image, but I would like for you to write a sentence, keeping in mind a well-structured sentence. That would be noun ID, adjective, or more than one adjective, right? More than one. Could be baba yu itza, could be du, dohano, whatever, couple colors. Maybe you're saying he's brown and big, whatever you'd like. But make sure it has noun ID, adjective, noun, verb, suffix. Okay? 5. Well-structured sentence. Okay, you will be sharing next class with me, so make sure you please write this down. Ishu kuinya. That's all I'm giving you. Ishu kuinya. Kuinya. Okay, let's go to the next one. If you're not done, it's okay. Just know, kuinya. What is he doing? Next. There's plenty of time. No, please just mark it, bookmark it, and come back to it if you can't do one that quickly. It's all right. Oi, Nate. Ishu sare. Sare. That's all I could give you. Ishu sare. Sare. Right. Give you a little while for this one. Ishu sare. So I'm giving you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Ooh, ara. Ara. Ishu ara. 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 Ishu ara. Okay, give you a little bit of time for this guy. Ara. All righty, let's go on. Let's move on. All righty. Let's go ahead and move on. All right. So our animals are, here we are. Our animals are really important to our way of life, our culture, and there has been many stories that have shared, many lessons. And again, I just want to reintroduce our creation stories. I believe we did go over some creation stories. So let me go ahead and reintroduce the creation stories. I'm going to go to my virtual copy of our workbook, our Numu Yadooana. Here it is. It's on page 74 if you'd like to follow with me, or you can also look up here and follow along. Creation stories. Creation stories are traditionally passed down through the generations through storytelling. They are considered to be part of our oral tradition. They tell tales of the ways our people came to be. They tell why things are the way they are. That's my best description to you. Why raccoon has black eyes, why some land formations are the way they are. Animals are almost always used in our creation stories. As time and science will prove, animals inhabit our earth long before humans came along. In most stories, our animals come to life, and they do have a life and spirit of their own. They really do, and a language of their own as well, and have their own personalities and attributes. Each story has more value to each tale. This is a common way for indigenous people to pass down the language to each generation. A trickster is common in most creation stories. I don't know why he was coined trickster, but I guess that's the best description of him in the English language. We were always told itza. Itza can almost translate to trickster. Itza is, of course, we know who he is now. He is Isha's wanga. Isha wanga. He's Isha's little brother. The Numu trickster is Itza. Coyote, he is portrayed as a character of what not to do. In other words, he is the bad example. You should not be like Coyote. The elders would say you should learn from his wrong ways and live a good life. Be good to one another. That's what I've always been told to. Take care of one another, be good to one another, live a good life. Many creation stories include songs. For examples, in the story of Kamu Yuhutsa, the animals celebrate in harvesting the animal's stomach lining with a song. Everybody's fed. There's food on the table. Everybody should rejoice. Yes. The nice, simple life is having a full belly, right? And being with the people you love. Yes, they may be ants, but again, they fed their whole colony. So that was a time of celebration. So the songs are passed down in Nima. Both the story and the song make it easier to tell the tale for the storytellers and for the listeners. It makes the stories much more interesting. It's almost like a triple threat, right? We have a nice creation story told in the language and passed down in the language, along with a song, and some have dances. Yes, it's almost like a triple threat. Those are the most interesting. Those are the ones that will capture that lasting impact on our youth to retell those stories. Some of our stories are just so unorthodox in today's mindset, I would say, that you remember them anyway. Okay, this is Kamusi. I think we went over Kamusi before. We will get back to Kamusi. Let's see how long it is. And there's a little storyboard to it. However, we want to move here. 81. If you are following along with me, 81. Itza bongadzi no. Remember what the no means. Itza bongadzi no. Coyote and the Mouse. Here is it in the written form. We will be listening to it again. I believe we've listened to it before, but I really want you all to listen to pronunciations. So now we're going to kind of highlight some of the vocab from this story. That will be next class, but right now, please listen to the story as told by our elder, of course, by Ralph Burns. This is one of the shorter creation stories that he does tell. And the UNR, like I've stated before, the UNR Paiute class, their students, it's one of their finals is they actually, every time I open YouTube, it's one of their finals or midterms, one of them. They have to memorize the story and retell it. So today, I don't think we'll be having to memorize, which would be awesome, though, if you guys were able to.
When I was a little boy.
He recommends it only because it's one of the shorter ones that he's had to translate. I believe the one we're going to listen to is 8 lines. It's just formatted differently. So it shows 12 lines. It's the shortest story that we can break down. And I encourage you all to pay attention to the way it's written, more so rather than the listening. I want you to look at the text because it's well written in our Wycliffe writing system. So hopefully each and every one of you is able to break it down and say, hey, I recognize a few words. And that's okay. We're still learning more, but I'm going to have the vocab ready for next class, and we're going to break down each sentence. So we're going to learn the vocab and hopefully be able to read like a storybook, hopefully read through it. Okay, here we go. Listen well.
My grandma would tell us stories at bedtime, and when we did something wrong, We grew up without any modern conveniences like radio or TV, and my grandparents used stories to teach us valuable lessons and to discipline us. Sometimes they told us stories of the coyote. It was almost like looking at ourselves in the mirror, but seeing him instead. One story I remember the most is about a coyote and the mouse. Iza pungazino. O nos su iza tseya ina tuhoa waina me. Ka tuhoa waina pungazima takate. Su pungaz mi ka iza ni dam. Nu tu tseya. I te kama kuse toisho tseya ikwa. Su iza o una kapone. O no yes su pungaz mi. Kaminya a tipunaga imasuasi. O no sa anu papatsi mani bitigakwa. O no yes uwako tikakwa. Uhu there. So iza kapungazi umabimasi yeshimia. Sa as supungazi wazitsi buis tano manika. The coyote was selfish and only thought about himself. And because he wanted more and more, he got nothing. Be satisfied with what you have, or you may lose everything.
Wow, Bisha. Close out of that. So it's just a beautiful thing. Yes, it's a different time. It's a different time of which obviously that was entertainment back in the day. Radio, and it's hard for us to fathom that. But having time, making time for culture, making time for your elders and that bond, that's what's more important nowadays. All right. Back in the day, as a child, you don't realize that that's the bond that's happening with your elder, with your grandma, your mo'a, your togo. That's what's happening. However, nowadays, listening to it, we're making time to learn these lessons. We're taking time to listen to our elder and connect with that elder. And hearing Ralph's voice, just it makes me feel good, just knowing that he's here and he's passing so much information down and he's keeping so much of the language and culture. So yes, it does go beyond. The coyote is selfish and he kept taking and taking until he had nothing. Yes, that is very important as a child. Now I revisit, I don't know if you guys will go through this. You'll revisit a time and place, something as simple as a creation story, and it may mean something different to you as you go through your life. So that's what I look at it as. Probably heard that story 50 times, and I just love it. I love listening to his voice. I love that he loves that, there's that bond, and I would love to retell it to him one day. It'd be amazing. So let's head back to our digital workbook. Here it is, A Coyote and the Mouse. Let's go line by line. Well, let's start off with the first lines. Itza bongatino. Itza bongatino. Onosu. Onosu means like a long time ago. Onosu. Onosu. That's how Ralph starts all his stories up with. We giggle a lot of times, and it's onosu. Ralphie, when did you go dancing? Oh, no. Geez, when were you in school? Oh, geez. Oh, no. Long time ago. Oh, no. Su itza. We know it's su. The itza. We know who that is. Long ago, the coyote. Now I'm doing it literal, but then when we break it down, we'll have to translate it into proper English. So we'll get to the bottom. O no su itza. Tieyena. Jehovah nimi. Alrighty. So we have some core words here. I don't know if I can highlight this for you. Tieye. Tieye means hungry. Tieye. I'm hungry. Tieye. All right. Tieye na. Na. I'm not quite sure of that suffix right now. I'm thinking it's tieye na. Like he is hungry, or well, it says this was hungry, but maybe that's another form of past tense. So like I stated, I'm still studying all the suffixes. There's a lot of suffixes. Tieyena. Tieyena. So that just means was hungry. We would also say tieyehu, or he was hungry. Tieyepu. I think that means the same thing. But in Ralph's dialect, it would be tieyena. Duhowe. Duhowe means, Duhowe means to hunt. Duhowe. Duhowe. It's hard to break that one down. I gotta say it fast. Duhowe. That means to hunt. Duhowe nimi. That means like to go hunt. In a sense, because you could say Duhowe win or Duhowe mia. Duhowe nimi. So nimi, that could also mean in present tense too, but that's when he went to go, or he went hunting. All right, so we will have the vocab for you next class, but just wanted to start off with reading this. Su o no su itza tieyena ina duhowe nimi. What day? Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you because it's going to take up more time for me to break it down. I think we'll save that for next class. Okay, just follow along with me if you are on page 81. If not, just look up at the board. Katuhowena bongadi matsakatuhu. Kabongadi toi tekakosi. So bongadi mika itsa anitama. Ne ditsi. Uitika makosi. Utuishi tieyekwa. So itsa o onna kapuni. Ono yeshi supongati mi. Kami no o tipo nag imasati ono sa anu pa biti mani bitigako. Ono yeshi uwaku tukako. Uhudye su itsa akapongati wama bimasi yeshi mia. Sa supongati watsiti boisitano manikia. Alrighty, so we'll break that down a little bit more. You see here, identifying the verbs, suffixes in itza and pongadzino. Okay, so there's some here. We'll kind of break down a little bit more of the suffixes and the vocab. But here we're also identifying, there's a lot of suffixes in here. So we'll go to 82 and we'll break some more down for you. Okay, that's what we get to look forward to. I do want a chart of breaking down each of the vocab words as well, but we will go into that next class. All right, so if you wanted to look up The Coyote and the Mouse, Ralph Burns storytelling on YouTube, you're welcome to. If not, we'll review it again. We'll listen to it next class and we'll slowly start breaking it down. All right, that's all I have for you guys. And it's actually really interesting and to see the progression of the class and you students. You guys are doing great. Pisha maniwan. Mu pisha maniwan means you guys are all doing good. All right. Pisha or mu, not just one. Mu pisha maniwan. All right. I just want to commend each and every one of you for showing up to school, showing up to class, ready to go. Even though some days are harder than most, you guys are all doing great. All right. Pisha mu sa mu bonitwa. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Should be a beautiful weekend. The weather looks nice. I hope everybody is productive in anything they do this weekend, even if it's just relaxing. All right. All right. Sa mo panitwa. Pisha ma.